So today I want to talk to you a little bit about our monthly game tournaments. The tournament page on our website just launched today, and you can start to go on and register for our upcoming tournament in September, which will be the game Sushi Go. Tournaments cost $10 to enter, and when you buy a ticket or a seat at the tournament, it gets you a free pass to play for the rest of the day as well. For members, it's $5 to enter each tournament. Seating is limited at these tournaments, typically between 16 and 20 players per tournament. So you want to get your seat early. Most of the tournaments will be run in sort of a round robin format. So you'll be randomly seated at a table, you'll get to play a game with some folks, then you'll get to play a second time with another group. We'll add up the scores, and the people with the highest scores will move on to a final table. That way you at least get to play the game a few times, even if you don't do very well and you get knocked out early. One of the reasons we chose Sushi Go as our first tournament is to convey sort of the atmosphere and the vibe of how we plan to run these tournaments. These are really just for fun. They're not hyper competitive. Now, don't get me wrong, people are going to want to win, mainly for bragging rights, but also there may be some small prizes given away. The winner does get their name on the Wall of Champions, which is a pretty big deal. Another thing to recognize is you don't necessarily even have to know how to play the game in order to register for one of these tournaments. The tournaments will start each Saturday at 10 a.m., but we'll have a teaching session at 9 a.m., so even if you don't know how to play the game, you can stop in early, learn how to play, and jump right in. Given a lot of careful consideration to the games that we pick for these different tournaments. One of the considerations is it needs to be a game that you can play a couple of times and not get sick of it. So obviously we're not picking games that take 2 or 3 hours to play one session. Also, we're trying to find games that are easily accessible. Maybe a lot of people are familiar with them, or they can be picked up really quick. So in October, we'll be playing Ticket to Ride. We'll probably have a couple different versions incorporated into this tournament, but as long as you know how to play the base game, or if you come in and learn how to play the base game, the other versions are pretty quick and easy to pick up. But this might give you a chance to try a different expansion or a different board like Ticket to Ride Pennsylvania or Ticket to Ride Nordic Countries, which is basically the same type of game, but with just a little twist. In November, we'll be playing Hearts, which is the classic card game. I think it used to come with every Microsoft installation on every computer. I don't know if it still does, but a lot of people are familiar with Hearts. In December, we'll be playing one of my favorites, Go Nuts for Donuts. I mean, after all, who doesn't like donuts? And in this game, you're collecting up different sets of donuts, and they score points a little bit differently. Also, one thing to note as far as scheduling, the tournaments will generally be held the final Saturday of each month, but in some cases that may not always be the case. You'll notice that in November and December, the tournaments will be a little bit earlier in the month because of the holidays. We haven't set the exact dates for the tournaments after the first of the year yet, but we have created sort of an outline for them so you can get an idea of what's coming up and you have something to look forward to. In January, we'll be playing the game Cascadia. In February, one of my favorite card selection games, Seven Wonders. In March, we'll be playing Blockus. And also in March, we'll have a special event, the inaugural Hack Wilson Memorial Tabletop Baseball Tournament. This is a really special way to honor our Hall of Fame native son, Hack Wilson. And the game that we'll be playing is actually a game that my brother and I sort of designed ourselves. We played a game called Championship Baseball back when we were kids. And we took that game and we refined it and designed our own game out of it. And so in this particular tournament, when you join up, you'll actually get to draft a team and you'll get baseball cards. And at the end of the tournament, you'll be able to take that pack of baseball cards home and you'll be able to play the game yourself at home. So that should be a really special event. In April, we'll be playing my newest favorite game, Wingspan. We might even get Joanne to join in on this one. In May, we'll be playing Azul. And I think you got to look out for the Hackoviches on this one. I hear that they're getting to be pretty good Azul players. In June, we'll be playing a game called On Tour, where you get to be in a rock band and you travel around the country trying to visit different states to play different gigs all over the place. It's a really cool roll and write game. In July, we'll be playing the classic game Catan, or Settlers of Catan. And then in August, we're going to do something special with our Dexterity Game Challenge. So you could try games like Crokinole, Tumbling Dice, and Shuffleboard. So I encourage you to go to sidetracksbgc.com, go to the tournaments page, and reserve your seat at the table now for our first tournament coming up in September. We'll see you there.